Hi there, my name is Miguel Doyle. I come from Irish-Spanish parents. My mother's Spanish, my dad's Irish. I was born in Lusaka in Zambia in 1967. We lived there for about 3 years, came back to Ireland via Spain. We lived in Wicklow and Raheny, Foxfield and Raheny, and then finally lived in Bayside, Sutton, just off the Hoth Road there, where my parents still live today. I lived there until it was about 2021. Did a bit of travelling myself, and I finally ended up in Donegal a few years back, about 6-7 years ago, and I discovered sculpting. We were in Spain, my mother and my brother, on our 2-month summer holidays, and I met up with my uncle Paco, who's a sculptor. We met up in he showed us one of his studios, which is an old converted church, and I just, looking around, just thought this was such a cool thing. At that age, it really sort of inspired me in a sense, but I never really thought much about it till very much later on. I was about 33, living in Donegal, when I decided or started to sculpt. I bought a couple of chisels and off I went, and I was very pleasantly surprised with my first attempt, as were other people. How did I learn? Well, I guess it sort of stemmed from having done metalwork in school for about 5 years, for the leaving cert. So I became familiar using hand tools and power tools, lathes and milling machines and stuff like that. So it was a sort of a natural progression then when I went on to take up using chisels and mallets with the stone. When you say self-taught, it's a difficult one. I sort of recently found out I think three-dimensionally, which I never understood till I started sculpting. Sort of things just seem to flow naturally. So my first piece seemed to just almost come out of thin air. Almost, that's the buzz I got was almost electric. Just having produced something like I'd never ever done anything like it before. It wasn't a masterpiece by any means, but for first attempt, it was pretty awesome. This medium I use is stone. It was the first medium I started on. I've drawn to stone because of the age, could be 100 million years, and it seems like it's such an unyielding substrate medium. But the tools I would normally would have been chisels originally. Depending, because I was new to it, I didn't know the availability of other tools, but I used chisels initially, which were quite slow, and then I was introduced to power tools, particularly angle grinder with a diamond, electroplated diamond discs, which could cut and shape quite quickly, which is really what you need if for a commercial venture. You need to have speed. Normally when I start a new piece, I usually have a fair idea of what I'd like to do, and I'll do a couple of doodles and sketches, and then I'll develop the idea. For example, there's a piece here I did for a piece I currently finished recently. I basically just draw it, make templates basically, work to profiles as such. So, for example, that would be, you'd have 2 pieces there. So basically that piece would be made of one piece of stone, like red marble, and this would be white marble. So I make them separately, and then the idea is this piece will then slot into this piece. So that's just that particular idea, and then you get a nice contrast between the 2 stones. So once I've made my profiles, I will transfer the profile to the stone, and then I will use my angle grinder to rough out shape, and then to get the more intricate cutouts, I'll use my Dremel with the small diamond burrs, and then it's a process of pairing away till the 2 pieces marry or fit it together, not loosely. And then once that's done, then I'll take maybe 15 grades of sandpaper from coarse, 60 grit coarse, right up to 2000 fine, wet and dry, polish. And if you don't get the scratches out of the first grade, they'll stay through the whole stage. So most time will be spent getting rid of all the scratches, and then once you're happy with that, it's an easy, well, not so much easy, but a long run then with the different grades till you get a nice shiny piece. When I think about it, nature itself inspires me throughout all my work, in particular the wind, which creates the waves, which create the ripples in the sand. Wavelengths tend to permeate all aspects of nature. You see it in the shape of leaves and in the petals of a flower. So, you know, when I start a piece, it's sort of I get ideas for other pieces, for the next piece. It's a development. And very often I'm taken on this journey, which I don't know the end till I actually get there, which gives me the thrill actually. As you can see here in the background, I've just gathered a body of work that I'm going to exhibit in an upcoming show in London. This is my first showing in London. It's mostly stone, mix of marbles, red Kerry sandstone, Portuguese pink marble, and rare marble and bits of limestone. This piece here is a bronze casting of the stone original in the background there. So I'm hoping to impress with these couple of pieces. Also, I'm just hoping to get some interest from London-based galleries, so fingers crossed.